Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm so thrilled to have you here. So thrilled to be here, and welcome to the Six Figure Formula. I'm Sherry Hemstreet, your favorite Six Formula teacher, I guess. I don't know. Six Formula. We're going down. We're going down the Six Formula, the Six Figure Formula rabbit hole, right? I've been stuck on that because everybody wants to make six figures, and I don't know why, but like all of a sudden, it seems like nobody can make six figures. So here we are. I'm doing the do, and we are diving in. So the Six Figure Formula today and tomorrow, exclusive event. Welcome and thank you for being here. I am thrilled to have you. I'm thrilled to have this time to spend with you and to share what I have to share with you and hear about your results and your questions and where you are and what is going on for you. And so we are going to get started. So who am I and even why am I teaching this? That's like, we always have the crazy question. Who am I? Why am I teaching this? What the heck is going on? So my name is Sherry Hemstreet. You probably heard me say that 3 times. And I have been a serial entrepreneur. You could say I've never had a job, but I had one when I was 16. So I guess that wouldn't be accurate. But like, as a grown-up, I've never really had a job. I have had a business and been a brand since I was about 20. Obviously, I'm 26 right now, so I'll let you do that math. I was born in the last century, but nobody wants to hear about that. So yeah, I've had a business or multiple businesses for over 30 years. I've had brick and mortars, I've had communication businesses, I've had party business, promotion business. I've I've done so much. Professional makeup business. I was a makeup artist, and all of these businesses were fantastic. And I learned so much in them, and I failed and I won and I made money and I did all of the things. So I have a background in international business and psychology from college, obviously. But the most fun thing about business to me is being online and helping others to create their dreams, step into wealth, and just create a bigger legacy than what they have right now, right? I drink a lot of coffee, so there's going to be a lot of coffee breaks. Coffee is the juice of life. And so, yeah, this is what I do. So I have been in the online space in this iteration. I've been in the online space since 2008. I've been in this iteration since 2014. I made my first 6 figures in 8 months, and I have gone from everything from being a high price tarot card reader that I didn't know how to read tarot cards. But I was psychic, so it was okay. I wasn't cheating anyone. And I charged $350 for that. And that was really great. And then I moved into business coaching because that was where everything was calling me. And then from there, I moved into wealth coaching, and I've worked with decamillionaires. That means people who have made multiple 10 figures. So like a lot of the men that I work with have made 50 million and above. I've worked with business owners, female business owners. I've had clients get to 7 figures. I've had clients have 100K months. I've had clients have 100K days, weeks, launches, you name it. What else? There's so many things. Like I got my first 7-figure client my first month in business, just because of what I was doing and how I was like showing up and marketing myself, right? So to say that I know the ins and outs of online business would be an understatement. Everybody's out there saying you have to do it this way and you have to do it that way. And I've come to find out like the only way I really have to do it is my way, right? And you're probably like me if you're here, because we're not quite like, I don't want to say like we're rebels, because rebels sound like people who have no cause in life. Rebels sound like people who are just like out there, like throwing cares to the wind, and they have no strategy, no direction, right? Like definitely have a rebellious streak, but there's a strategy, there's a direction. I have a purpose with things, and I have a feeling that you're the same way, right? Like you don't necessarily like to do things the same way everyone else does them, but you actually have a direction you're going to, and there's a purpose to your madness and your rebellion, right? So I live in New Orleans. I have a 31-year-old son. I had to think about that for a minute. And I have a 17-year-old daughter, and I'm married to the caveman. I call him the caveman because he is just wonderful and amazing, strongest man I've ever known, wonderful provider. And he's not quite as evolved or into the evolutionary spiritual side of life as I am. I've had many God encounters. I've had many spiritual experiences. So that's my little corner of the world. I have my happy little family in New Orleans. My daughter is 17, star volleyball player. We spend a lot of our time traveling, and we spend a lot of our time just having fun and being a family. And that's really important to me because, you know, back in 2020, the pandemic hit, right? And my grandmother, I was taking care of my grandmother. I had moved her in with us, and she had had cancer several times over in different ways. And really amazing woman. Like, this woman, just so strong. I have no idea, but she was just amazing. And so we moved out of the inner city of New Orleans. I literally lived like in the city. And so I wanted to get her a little further out and away from all the people in the suburbs. So, you know, we live on the edge of it right now. And so I just didn't want her getting something, the COVID, the thing, right? And so, because she was already old. And so what ended up happening is we moved into our rental house, and I told her, this is going to be your forever home. Like, because I figured we would just be here until I don't really know what I thought, but I remember telling her that welcome to your forever home, because I knew the other home we lived in, the steps bothered her. But like, I didn't plan on being here forever. It just came out, and it was the weirdest thing. So anyway, there's a point to this, I swear. So the point is that my grandma's health started declining again, and so I had to become a caretaker, right? So many of you can relate to that. I've talked to so many people who go through that. And in having to be a caretaker, I couldn't work like I was. And like, let's be honest, at this point, I was only working 6 hours a day. Okay. Like, I was working 6 hours a day. Now, in the beginning of my business, I was working so much more. I remember my first launch, I worked 18 hours straight. Insane. I remember it was nothing to put in 12-hour days. And then, you know, on my way to 7 figures, it was right around that time. And I was just like, we dialed everything back, and I was working 6 hours a day. I had a big team. I want to say 8 or 9 people working for me at that time. And it was $15,000 a month to run my business outside of software. So that was just manpower. And that was big, right? So at this point in my life, I had to literally make $30,000 a month. There was no not making it. And my income had been steadily going up, but it was all over the place. Like, so one month I would make 120K, right? And then the next month I might only make 30 or 50K. And then I would make 148K in a week. And then I would just, not do anything the next month except for have my reoccurring income. And it just depended on what I made. Like, I was not in the space where I was like maximizing. Like, I maximized my income, but I wasn't in the space where I was maximizing my income and minimizing my time, right? I was running everywhere, doing everything. I had a lot of support for working 6 hours a day, but I got to the point where I just wasn't willing to give anything up. And this is important because I would, to this day, would not sacrifice any time with my family for another 7 figures. Like, I have made 7 figures. I have walked away from 7 figures. I did not love my business. I did not love who I was. I did not love anything about it. Would I do it again? Yeah, I'm sure I'll get back to 7 figures, and it's going to be an entirely different way this time. So that's why I'm here to talk to you today, because everybody wants to get to 6 figures. Most people want to get to 7 figures, let's be real, but they don't know how, and they don't know what is happening, right? So I'm going to go through those processes and those steps, because I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why different people don't make the money. There's a lot of reasons why it doesn't work for everybody the way they think it should. It's very easy to follow someone and follow what they say and think it'll work for you. And then I hear this from a lot of people. They come back to me and they're like, it's not working for me. I don't have enough clients. I don't have, I can't raise my rates. I can't get there. So it takes this certain recipe, this certain balance to get the 6 figures. It's not complex. It's not rocket science. I mean, it is really not rocket science. It's math. If you were here for last month's training, I shared it was just math. Like 6 figures is literally math. 7 figures is literally math. Business success is literally math. The problem is people can't make the math work to get where they want to get. So with that being said, we're going to go into this. Because one of the things I love talking about is money and how to make more of it. I actually really love talking about money and how to make more of it. I don't know if there's much more things I know that like there's a lot that's fun outside of making money. Like, sex is really fun and all those good things are really fun. But yeah, making money is up there. Like making money is up there. It is just fun to me. And so I think that's one of the things that makes it different for me. Like I actually just look at it like a game. It is just fun to me. So that takes me out of that desperation energy that people can get caught up into, or that needing to do something. And you might say, but Sherry, of course, like you're making whatever I'm making these days, right? You might be like, you've already made 7 figures, you've already made $1 million, you have, clients paying you between 5 and 10K a month, and you have this and that. Like, sure, I do, but it's a choice. It's a choice to chase, and it's a choice to build a business that makes you chase. And so that's what I want to focus on today, because chasing money, chasing clients puts you in that energy of striving that you are going to think you're never enough. Things are never quite working out the way you want. And you're always forcing, you're always pushing, you're always doubling down and trying to get there. So of course, if any of this is resonating, go ahead and drop things in the comments. Like, I am here to hear this. Hey, you love it. I love that. Thank you. So we're going to talk about a couple of different things today. Tomorrow's going to be a little different. I'll share that then. But the reason this all came up is because I have a very specific way of having high income, how do I say that? High income intakes into my business. So whether we're talking about my 200K day, where like literally I never even knew that was possible. So whether we're talking about my $200,000 day, or we're talking about 120K month, or 148K week, or 156K week, all of those things happen because I was very strategic. It's the thing that I learned while I was building my business. And so just out of curiosity, like, let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this, right, let me know. Do you struggle with marketing? Do you struggle with marketing your business? Because it's so interesting, because my business has been through ups and downs, right? Like I walked away from it and I was like, I'm not going to build that kind of business. I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to get into that energy. And before that, I didn't really market my business. So it's funny to me, because the thing that made business hard is when I started trying to market it. Like there is nothing harder than trying to market your business. Am I right? And when you're trying to market your business, you're actually trying to fit into this box, this square, this construct. And hello, we're like rebellious people. We have these streaks. We're like, oh, you said I can't do that? Watch me. Oh, you said I have to do it this way? Watch me. And so it was so funny to see myself go into this space of like, I'm going to master marketing. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to learn everything. And I learned like copywriting and funnels and ads. Like I paid $20,000 to one person to teach me ads. And it was the biggest waste of money. I can't even begin to tell you. I've spent probably close to $100,000 learning ads at this point. But copywriting, marketing, funnels, email sequencing, persuasion, all of the things. The only thing I didn't learn, the only thing I never paid to learn was sales. Now, how funny is that, right? Because you would think that sales are like the most important part of business. They are the lifeblood of your business, and they are. But you can only sell to people that you've marketed to because you need people to sell to. Or at least that's what the gurus would tell you. At least that's what people would tell you. They would say, look, you got to market so you have people to buy. But that didn't work for me. And I'm going to guess it's not really working for you because, well, one, you don't fit into a box, and it's, not because the box is the wrong shape. It's because fuck the box. Right? Just fuck the box. We are not made to do it their way. And it took me a long time to realize that, which is so funny because, I'm the girl that tried everything 3 times to make sure I was messing up. Like, I couldn't just mess up once. I had to make all the wrong choices. And I did. Like, if there was a bad choice to be made, I was making it. And I can own that because, I still made all the wrong choices in life, and I'm still living the life of my absolute dreams. Would I like a few things to be even more expansive and amazing? For sure, for sure. I was just talking to someone this morning about why am I not on the freaking Riviera in Paris, or not Paris because the Riviera is not in Paris, but on the Riviera in France? And why are me and my daughter not going to France? Why don't we have a girls trip, right? And it's I just forget about the possibility and everything that's there because I get wrapped up in this life. And I'm sure you're the same way, right? So I never struggled in my business until I tried doing business the way they said I had to. Now, what kind of garbage is that? Can you even imagine? I started doing the things the way they told me to, and it got really hard. And I was like, I'm going to learn better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to double down. I'm going to try harder. It was Phi Theta Kappa. I can learn anything. I can do anything, right? I was also a high school dropout, so don't get too excited by my credentials, because I'm certainly not. But I was like, I'm going to learn all of this. I can do all of this. And I learned it, and I learned it, and I learned it, and I lost money, and I lost money, and I lost money. And so I had to eventually step back and go, wait a second. The more I learn how to do things the way they say, the less it works. And so I went back to doing things my way. And I was like, you know what? I don't necessarily want to spend all my time serving. I used to have upwards of 30 clients at a time. In different capacities. It was I don't want that. So I'm going to put passive income on the board, right? And so I started doing passive income. I took a couple more clients, and my income was just so easy. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to work more than 4 hours a day. And if you would have told me this when I started my business, I would have said there's no way I could make more money working less. And everybody says that, right? Every marketer is out there you can work less and make more. You can work less and make more, but you have to be very strategic about it, because I've had people who do this. And then I had a pretty well-known influencer come to me, lost all of her clients at one time right before Christmas. Right? So there are strategic ways to do things. And that's what they don't usually tell you, because that's the downfall. And the other thing is that I learned about marketing is when everyone is doing the same thing in marketing, when everyone is teaching the same thing in marketing, that's when it's over. That is when it's over. Nobody is teaching what they are doing. And I learned this from being in rooms that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to be in. And this was maybe the thing that irritated me the most, was that by the time somebody would go out there and teach it, it wasn't working the way it was. It wasn't working the way it had worked for them. And so I didn't like that. There's a lot I don't like about the industry. There's a lot I don't like about online, but there's a lot that I love about it. And that's mostly the people like you. Right? And so it's a lot of different things that go into making six figures, but at the same time, it's not, right? So let's go through this because I put up a poll. Pardon me. I've had this cough. Like, I don't know how long I've had this cough. There's this cough that's going around. I've been coughing and I was sick in November, and this cough is like never going away. I think it has something to do with COVID, although I haven't had COVID this year that I know of, but I think that's what it is because that's when it all started. Everyone I know, we've been talking about it. But anyway, you are so unique, and I always learn big ahas from you. Thank you. I love that. I yes, and I hope that you laugh too because I say really dumb things. So I hope that the big ahas aren't the dumb things that I say, like, oh, I'm not sure about this one. I'm just teasing. So look, there's many things that go into making six figures, and there is a formula, and it's a lot easier than what you think. So I put up a post the other day in our group. You should be in there if you're watching this, Freedom Creators. And so in that post, I was like, tell me the thing that it is for you, right? And I've been doing this. I've been working with business owners as a business coach, as a spiritual business coach, as a spiritual money mentor, as a, I don't know, like as a Sherry of making money, like that. I guess that's just my official title. And I have been doing this since 2014. So the three things I said were, you don't have enough leads. Everyone's like, I was like, tell me which one your thing is. And drop it in the comment and let me know which one this is for you. So you feel like you need more leads. You need more leads that can buy your stuff. You feel like you don't like sales because the ick, right? Like nobody likes sales because the ick. And there was a third one. I wonder what it is. I could pull it up, right? But there was three things I asked. I was like, and if anybody remembers and you want to pop it in here, that'd be amazing. I'm going to look it up though, because it's important. So there were three things that I found that people actually struggled with on the way to six figures. And for whatever reason, it has escaped me at this moment. But tell me what it is for you. Like, is it you need more leads? Is it that you need, well, you would get more customers with more leads? Is it that you hate selling? Or is it that you can't raise your prices? There's all kinds of things, and it's not pulling up for me right now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see. Do. Here we are. Nope. 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 How many? Why do we have so many? I guess we do have so many posts here. Didn't realize that. I might have should have wrote this down, but that's okay. Here it is. So getting more leads, selling without the ick, or spending time on buyers and not tire kickers. So like people are always telling me they have a problem because they will spend all of their time with people who do not want to pay them. You don't have time for that if you're not making six figures. Honestly, you don't have time for that if you're not making six figures. And if you are making six figures, you don't have time for that. Let me just tell you, at seven figures, you don't have time for that. Nobody has time to devote to people who are only freebie hoppers and tire kickers. And this is what I see people doing. I see people spending loads of time because they're trying to create that connection. They're trying to build that relationship because the gurus have told you that the relationship is the currency of business. Attention is the currency of business. You have to get people to know, like, and trust you to buy. No, I have had people spend $24,000 on me, paid in full, did not know me. I'm going to tell you how, right? So the first thing that I want to talk about, though, is not enough leads. The problem is that most people don't understand organic marketing. Most people don't know how to find the right leads on any social platform. Everybody is out there spraying and praying their message, their content, their posts. How many here think that just being more visible is the thing that will get them there? And then how many of you actually out there think, but I have been visible and it's not the thing that got me there? Isn't that fascinating? Being visible on its own is not the key. right? It's just not. But when you don't know what is, you think, if I'm not being visible enough, I'm not getting the sales. That's why my audience isn't growing. Let me just tell you, my audience, I at one point had 28,000 likes of followers on my Facebook business page. I consistently get to 5,000 and have to get rid of people on my Facebook profile. I had a YouTube that had over 100,000 views. None of those were why I made seven figures. You want to know why I made seven figures? I got in front of the right person at the right time with the right offer. I didn't market it. I talked to them like a human being, just like I'm talking to you, with all my flaws and all my faults out, waving in the wind like, here I am, right? The thing that I see is people are trying to build up all the vanity metrics. You want more friends, you want more people commenting on your posts. The people who are commenting on your posts are not the people who are going to buy. Very rarely do the people who have commented on my posts end up being the people who have paid me the most money. Now, my clients will comment on my post after they pay me, because now they're like, oh, I'm like in, they like to comment on my things, right? But commenting is just a vanity metric. It doesn't get you there, right? When I made six figures, I had less than 1,200 friends on Facebook. I had less than 500 people on my email list. When I made seven figures, I had 3,500 people on my email list and 2,600 friends around there, give or take, right? The reason is that I solved the problem. And that is how I worked my organic marketing. To this day, you will not see me post consistently. Go ahead, go look at my Facebook page. It is pitiful. I am breaking every rule that the gurus tell you. You have to post daily. Who here has heard they had to post daily before? Like, yes, yes, yes. And who here is like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to post daily. It's Monday. Let's go. Hoorah. We're out the door. And then Thursday comes and you're like, fuck this. I hate this. It's like Thursday. I did this. Where's all the clients already? Right? And you're like, this leads you to then believe, if I could just be consistent, I could make money. If I could just be consistent, six figures would be there. So you think your problem is you can't be consistent. Anyone? Yeah. That's not the consistency that gets you to six figures. The gurus would like you to say that. We are no longer in 2012. It is no longer 2015. It's not even 2017. You can't just show up on social media consistently and grow an audience. Have you noticed? Has anyone noticed? Like, nobody wants to follow anybody. Nobody cares. And so the problem is that then you're like, well, how do I get more followers? How do I get a bigger audience? How do I do this? Social media is not the same. The gurus who are telling you that you just have to show up every day in consistency, that is going to do something. But let me just tell you, that is so much work. I've never done it. I have never once in my, how many years? 10, 11 years of business, in this iteration of online business, working from social media as I do, have ever shown up consistently. I would challenge anybody to go through my timeline. There are times when I don't show up for months at a time. It's not how I want to run my business. And when you know how to use social media, how to make organic work, it's not the consistency of showing up every day. It's the consistency in your message. It's the consistency of who you speak to. It's the consistency of solving a problem. Not a method, not a process. Nobody needs another Akashic reader. Nobody needs my own modality, the soul book editors. Nobody needs them. Nobody needs a tarot reader. Nobody needs a psychic. I started an entire revolution of psychic business coaches way back in the day that I still see. I laugh at this online, but like still see this. That worked back then. Nobody needs one today. Nobody needs a psychic business coach. You know what they need? They need to make six figures. They need to make money. They have a problem. So the problem is you need to stop looking for an audience and you need to start connecting with buyers. This is how I make sales daily. This is how I make high ticket sales. This is how I keep my business running. This is the basis of passive income. It's the basis of active income. It's not the basis of churning out content every day. Unless you want to be a content creator for the sake of being a content creator, I do not. Unless you want to be famous, I do not. I want to be rich. I don't want to be famous, right? Like, fuck fame. I want the bank account, okay? Like, that little Susie Q girl, like, she's cute. Go put her on whatever you want to put her on, right? She can dance on TikTok and she can rah-rah on Instagram. I just want to collect the invoices. I just want to make the impact. I just want to stack cash with you while you are stacking cash. I want us to get rich together because nobody minds getting rich together, right? But nobody wants to get rich. Nobody wants to watch someone else get rich because of them, which is what the gurus are doing these days, right? They're showing you the things that don't work and telling you it still works because they are so far out of the loop. They are so far disconnected to what is working now. So stop looking for an audience and start creating an audience of buyers. Start speaking to what you actually solve. Don't talk about the process. Nobody cares. I know you've heard this before, but I could scroll through my entire timeline and people were talking about their process. No one cares. And here's the thing. When you turn your attention from buyers and speaking directly to the people that need to buy from you, your buyers become aware. Your buyers pay attention. Your buyers step up. This is how I was able to build such a stratospherically successful business because I didn't spend my time doing the wrong things. I mean, I made plenty of mistakes, but as soon as something wasn't working, I didn't stick around to see how much longer it would take for it not to work on purpose. Right? If something isn't working, you're going to know in 90 days. And that's something everybody doesn't understand. When you are doing something, when you are changing something in your business, it's a 90-day stretch. You document it. March 1st to March, April, May. March 1st to June 1st. I'm going to do this. And then at the end of 30 days, you evaluate. Don't change anything. At the end of 60 days, at the end of 30 days, you determine if it's worth going on. At the end of 60 days, you really know what's going on and you decide if 90 days even needs to happen, right? So that's the way you actually have to get into the data and the metrics. But you don't want to just keep doing something for the sake of it, thinking that doing more of it, which is what we all do, right? This is how our brain is programmed. If I just do more of what's not working, I will get what I want. I'm going to tell you something right now. That is equal to or akin to or the same thing as saying, I just want to lose weight and I keep eating this chocolate cake, so I'm just going to eat more of this chocolate cake. I just want more clients, so I'm just going to keep going live, even though that's not getting me clients. So I'm just going to keep going live more. Same thing. If it's not working, doing more doesn't get you there. Eventually, you have to step back and look at your business objectively and say, okay, where is this not working? And start taking things out. It's not a matter of adding things in. I've never added so much more in that it made a difference. The complexity is not the way to get there. The simplicity is, right? So the great thing when you start talking to buyers is buyers buy. They buy, right? And every time somebody buys from you, they solve a problem. And every time they solve a problem, do you know what happens after that? They have a brand new problem. And because you have already solved their first problem, you are the person they trust to solve their second problem. Now, you don't have to have people who know, like, and trust you. This is not like this is not 1999. This is not 2017, right? People used to say the know, like, and trust was the only way to get there. I have people buy from me every single day. They don't know me. Every single day they don't know me. They have no idea who I am. They could care less. They get on my email list and I sell to them every single day because I don't wait for people to know, like, and trust me because I'm solving a problem. It doesn't matter if it's manifesting. It doesn't matter if it's a prayer. I literally had somebody ask me to sell them a solution for how to pray the other day. Why? Because I had all of their other solutions. So every problem creates a solution by you. And every time you solve something, your client has a new problem. If you do a tarot reading and you solve their problems, they have a new problem. Now that those problems are solved, that's life. Life is literally like dealing you problems and you're sitting here going, pow, 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 got you, done, move on. That is the job of us in life, to overcome the challenges, to move through the things, right? So stop looking for not enough leads, start looking for the right leads, and start learning how to make organic work for you by speaking to the buyers. If you've been in business for 6 months, you have an idea of who your buyers are. You know what they respond to. You know what they need. You know what their problems are. Speak to them. They want your attention, right? The next thing I see, and I used to do this, and look, it worked. It worked in 2014. It worked in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. It stopped working in 2020. Do you want to know what it is? Guess. I want to know if you even have a guess of what quit working in 2020. Now, yes, it still works. Some people can still do it, but as soon as I tell you what it is, you're gonna know. You're gonna know, right? So the thing that quit working is giving value. How many of you have realized that? Drop value in the comments if you've realized that, right? And if you think I'm full of it, put BS in the comments. Like, I would love to hear this. I stopped giving value. Value is a false sense of security. When you give someone value, especially in something like this or in a post, people consistently go to your wall. They look for the value. And you think if you just give enough value, you're going to position yourself, you're going to be the expert to them. You're going to be like the person that they need, the person that solves their problems. They are going to trust you and they're going to want to buy from you because you have their answers. No, you've just friend zoned them. Value is not the answer. Many people went through this. What do you mean many people went through this? I want to hear what you have to say there. And drop it in the comment, please. So we're not giving value anymore. I think I misunderstood. Value attracts tire kickers, freebie hoppers. When you give someone value, that's what they want from you. People who want value, people who value are people who just want to know the why. They are information seekers. Information is freely available. So let them go find information somewhere else. Now, do I give value? Yes, I give a huge amount of value. This is my second or third event this year. I have given so much value. People have come back to me and completely insane. Insane. Now, it's not ordinary value. I don't give value as, here's what you need to do, X, Y, Z. You know what you need to do. You know to build a six-figure empire, you need an email list, you need a social media page, you need PayPal, you need an offer, you need a client, you need a problem. We all know those things. It's not rocket science. Like, this is so far from rocket science. I don't need to tell you those things. I don't even need to tell you how to do those things, because most of those things can be done and produce results to some degree. But the real thing that you want to know isn't how to do those things. Are you with me? You don't need to know how to do those things. You think you need to know how to do those things, but everyone knows how to write a letter. Am I right? Yes. Hello. Amen. You know how to write a letter? We all made it through second grade, even me. Surprising. Email's just a letter, right? We all know how to put together something to sell. That's not hard. I'm really good at this. I can show you how to do it. I can teach you how to do it. I can give you the results of what I do. That's an offer. We all know how to make an invoice. There's nothing you don't know about building a business that you need to know. So here is what I do instead. I give insight. I give insight. Because you have enough people out there telling you how to do things. I'm going to tune into this person. They know how to make Instagram work. Instagram is not hard. Put a picture up. Say something. Talk to a buyer. This person's going to show me how to make TikTok work. TikTok is not hard. Put a video up. Talk to a buyer. I give insight. What is insight? You think the reason that you aren't signing more clients is because you're not in front of the right people or you don't like selling. I know the real reason that you're not signing more clients is because you don't know how to create a consistent lead pipeline in your business without paying for ads or begging people to friend you. That's an insight, right? Most people think that they need more clients. Most people would do great with more clients. Every guru out there, I'm going to tell you right now, every guru out there is going to say, you don't have a lead problem. You can't convert enough of the people you have right now. Who has heard that? Drop it in the comments. Drop lead in the comments if you have heard somebody say, you don't have a lead problem. You are not selling the people in your audience right now. Yeah. That is insight. I'm going to go out there and say, you do have a lead problem. Why? Because I have looked behind everyone's business. I can tell by looking at your social media profile if you have a lead problem. And if you're not making six figures, you have a lead problem. You don't have enough people to buy what you are selling. So therefore, you need my organic strategy. See, that is insight. I told you the problem. Now, compare me to the guru who's like, oh, you don't have a lead problem. You just need to convert more. How many of you believed that when you heard it? Like, yes or no, just a Y or an N is good. How many of you believed when you heard you don't have a lead problem, you just have a conversion problem? Yeah. And how many of you went against your gut the longer you heard that? You were like, this person has to be right. They're the guru. Yeah. Now, how many people felt that in their body, in your knowing center, when I said you do have a lead problem? Because I'm truthful. That's what insight is. Nobody is willing to tell the truth. If you are not making six figures, you have a lead problem. You don't have a conversion problem. People have bought from you, you don't have a conversion problem. Now you could have a maximization problem. Are you maximizing that audience? I have maximized my audience to like the fuck out. I have people who have bought from me for over 10 years, 11 years. I had one lady, she's like, I've been buying from you for 14 years. I said, that's amazing. Amazing. 14 years ago, I wasn't selling this. But I went back and checked, and she had been buying from day one. So, like, she thought she's been buying from me for 14 years. I love her for this. How freaking awesome. She's convinced she's been buying from me forever, and she's not going anywhere. You are so welcome for my honesty. So you have a lead problem. So you're going to walk away from this today, and you're going to have an actual answer as to why things aren't working for you. That is an insight. How much more valuable is it to know what's not working than it is to know what to do? Because you know what to do. You've been posting on social media. You know how to talk to people. You're not like a curmudgeon, right? It's the insight into what's not working. That's the value. That's how you speak to buyers. Now, we're going to move into, we've covered value as the problem. I think that's all I have to say on it. But that's a big topic. I just want to make sure there's nothing else I want to share there. Because you will try to convince people over and over and over to buy by giving them more and more value until you are valued out. And you will get to the point where you can't take it anymore. They will burn you out. You will feel like you were over giving and over delivering and just giving and giving and giving. Ask me how I know. I had these same people that would come on to my like Ask Me Anything lives or my psychic business coaching lives. And I'm like, how have you not built a 7-figure business yet? I have given you all of the things. They were never going to build it. I gave them all of the things. Every week they would show up there like clockwork. Look, no shade. Show up if somebody's going to help you and you're getting value and you need that, you do that. But also recognize that not all the people that want value are going to do anything with it. Moving right along. I think that's all I have to say about value. That's a big one. Value is a big one, right? So the first thing is you don't have enough leads. And that was the value I gave you, right? You don't have enough leads. You need to understand how to make organic work for you. You need my organic strategy. So the second one is, the third one, I forgive me. We're on number 3 now. You feel the ick for selling. Now, here's why you feel the ick for selling. Yep, the end of 2020. Yes. Value died in 2020. May it rest in peace forevermore. So the reason you feel the ick in selling, most of you want to sell high ticket. Most of you want to sell something for 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 90,000, 100,000. Am I right? Like nobody's saying no to that, right? But the problem is you have been on so many sales calls, or you've been in so many DM conversations, or you've heard from so many people, I can't afford it. So you spend your time lowering your prices and you spend your time actually just doing whatever you can to make it by giving more value so that you can actually get the sale. You cannot lower your prices enough for someone to pay you. If someone isn't going to pay you at your current price, making it more affordable isn't going to make them pay you. They are not buyers. Hello, they're not buyers. Do you get that? So you feel the ick in selling because you have to ask someone to pay you a certain amount. And when you have to ask someone to pay you a certain amount, it's scary. You're going to get rejected. Nobody likes rejection. Sales is rejection. So I don't know if everybody knows my past career, but I have been in sales since I was 16. We'll just say that. And in my 20s, I literally would only make money if I sold. Commission only. I was not a 1099. I was like whatever the hell I was. I was not, right? I was my own LLC, whatever it was. So the thing is, I didn't make money unless I sold. I made myself so comfortable with the word no that I made myself get 10,000 no's. You know, the guy who's like, I think it's Maxwell Gladwell, Malcolm Gladwell. He came up with the 10,000 hours to expertise. I'm an expert at rejection. Go ahead and tell me no. I don't care. Go ahead and tell me no. Tell me it's me, not you. I'm okay with that. I have normalized no. And the problem is that nobody has told you that 90% of your audience is never going to buy. Actually, that's not true. You can maximize an audience to somewhere around 15%. I have maximized my audience to between 10 and 15% of buyers, which is unheard of. Because if you look at the industry standard, 1 to 3% is what people are buying. You've heard this everywhere. It doesn't matter what you sell, 1 to 3% are going to buy if you're not maximizing your audience. The reason you get the ick when you have to sell is because you are in a space that doesn't position you and what you have to offer as the sole solution, as the authority, and as something they can't say no to. They don't want to say yes because they stand to lose a lot. And you know this because you've been on the other side of that. So you get the ick when you are selling in a situation where someone is directly going to tell you no. It is much easier to change how you sell when you are selling to buyers. When you are selling to buyers, it becomes enormously easier. Enormously. They have an experience with you. Think about this. This is why your best customers keep coming back. Your best clients keep coming back because they have an experience with you. All you have to do is 10x, 20x, 30x the amount of buyers that have purchased from you. You just have to make it easy for them to say yes. And when you are on a sales call asking for 5,000, 7,500, 10,000, it is not easy for them to say yes. And you know that. So it makes you feel bad because you know it's hard for them to say yes. The ick isn't about you. The ick is about the process. You don't hate selling. You love helping people. Look, I had somebody sell to me yesterday. I bought something, by the way. I'm so happy I did. I want to talk about this. I had somebody sell to me yesterday. I bought something without her knowing. Her assistant had sent me the link and, she popped in my DMs and she's like, hey, this is going on. Are you buying? And I was like, oh, I already bought this. And she's like, okay, but what about this? It's more. And I was like, yeah, that's great. She was selling me more. Why? Because the more you sell, the more people buy. People are buying every day, but you aren't selling every day. What's the moral of the story there? I love that she sold to me and that she was willing to sell more to me. She was willing to cancel the payments and all the things I had already done and sell me a bigger package. I was not offended. I was not offended that she wanted more of my money. Why? Because she was helping me. She is solving my problem. It is a big problem. She's solving the problem. I was very happy to give her money. I have known this lady for maybe 72 hours. Maybe 72 hours. I've given her a decent chunk of money. I don't know her. And to be honest, I'm not really sure that I would say I like her. I wouldn't say I don't like her either. I don't know Jack or Jill about her. Okay? But I paid her and she asked me to pay her more. And I thought that was freaking amazing. And you know what? I probably will. Probably not tomorrow. Probably in the next month, right? I had a client enroll with me, my $5,000 package. A week in, she's like, I need to upgrade to the $10,000 package. I was like, yeah, you do. Absolutely. Let's do this. Let's figure out your VIP day. Let's get you in there. I didn't say, well, let's see how the $5,000 package goes. I let her know she could buy it. She didn't know me very well. I let her know 10K was available. She didn't know me very well. That's fine. 1 weekend and she's like, yeah, okay, I got this. We can do this, right? Nobody needs to know if you're solving a problem. Nobody needs to even like you if you're solving a problem. I don't know that either of these people are people that like I would like or they would like. I know that I'm committed to what I'm doing. You are committed to what you were doing. You are committed to your client's transformation, their breakthrough, their solution, because at the end of that solution is a new problem. So the reason you have the ick is because there is so much going around it and you are not selling to buyers. When you sell to people in a situation that makes it easy for them to say yes, they say yes again and again and again. And they start coming to you because you have shown them value. Because you have an organic strategy. You have enough people. So when you write the post, I don't care if it's once a week or once a month. I can write a post and go out there. I had a client. This was 2 years ago. I had a client. We both wrote a post. I said, let's do something. I'm going to show you something. We both wrote a post. We wrote a post to get clients. I had 5 people reach out to me on that post to get clients, and she had 0. And I put up her post and I put up my post. And I said, you know what your post did? It talked about you and what you do and how you help them. And my post told them what was wrong and why it wasn't working. Didn't tell them how to solve it. I didn't tell them how to solve it. I showed her how to write that post and she literally signed a client the next day. That is the difference. There was no ick in selling it because that person knew what they were coming to her for. When you have people who know why they are coming to you, there is no ick. You don't feel bad when someone comes to you and says, I need you to figure out my block. I need you to figure out my limitation. I need you to figure this out. When you tell them that you know the limitation or the block, they're like, yeah, that was me that you wrote about. I'm here to pay. It is that simple. You don't feel ick then. The reason you feel ick is because you're trying to dance around a solution to get them into a container to make them pay. Instead of just saying, this is the solution. Pay me or don't pay me. Somebody's going to. Because somebody's always willing to pay to solve their problems. And the more the problem is a pain, the more they will pay. Trust me. Lots of payments for problems, right? So I don't ask people to buy from me. I ask no one to buy from me until they buy from me. When you buy from me, and then I'm like, why aren't you buying more? Why don't you want to monetize this more? Why don't you want to go to the next level? Why don't you want to get there quicker? And I just have a conversation. That's all it is. Oh, repeat. Did I miss something? I'm over here like chattering away. All right. Number 4. And this one's big, right? I talked about this a little bit earlier, but visibility. Visibility for the sake of being visible is not positioning. It's not authority. It's not making people like you. It's nothing. It's making people who have more time, probably than they have money, hang out with you. Comment. Remember, it's the people who comment on your posts are amazing. They are keeping you in the algorithm. They are keeping you boosted. They are keeping you in front of the people who are going to pay you. but they aren't necessarily going to be the ones who pay you. It's not 2015 anymore. The market is savvy. So being visible for the sake of being visible, like I had somebody, oh my God, Facebook is getting rid of the lives, right? They're like, I'm on day 100 of a 360 day or 365. I guess it's a 365 day thing, right? I've never once done a 365 day live challenge. I would gouge my eyes out. Gouge my eyes out. Right? Because I don't want to do that. Now, if I was going to go live and do a visibility challenge where I gave value, I would shoot myself. You couldn't get me to do it. But if I was giving insight, I still wouldn't do it. I could do it, and it would be more prosperous. It would make more sense, and it would make me more money. But I don't want to do that, so I don't do it. Because being visible for the sake of being visible doesn't do anything. We get into this space where we start convincing ourselves we have to do the things that the gurus have done that worked 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago. And it doesn't work anymore. And it's not the way to make it work. But yet we don't know the thing to make it work. So we think we're just going to keep throwing the spaghetti at the wall and doing the things that used to work. But that doesn't work. And that's literally like, it's kind of the visibility thing. I see it everywhere. Like I see it everywhere. People just want to be more visible. And I'm like, it's a waste of your time. If you have that much time, like go ahead, be visible. But like, I want to get paid for what I'm doing on social media. The next thing is mindset. Now, you may know me as somebody. I freaking love mindset. I love mindset. Like I can mindset somebody's mind like upside down, inside out, and make it work in an entirely different way. It is magnificent. Mindset is amazing to me. Like I fall in love with people's minds. Most people don't have a mindset problem, especially around money. You know what they have? Who wants value here? Because I'm not going to give you value. You know what I'm going to give you? I'm going to give you insights. I'm going to tell you why you don't have a mindset problem. I'm going to tell you why you think you have a mindset problem. And I'm even going to tell you the solution. That's very generous of me, I know, because that is just a solution. It doesn't mean anything till you do something with it, right? So the reason you don't have a mindset problem, everyone thinks they have a money problem. Everyone thinks they have a mindset problem. Everybody has a mindset problem. It is probably not as big as you think. Okay, let's do this. Who thinks they have a mindset problem because they aren't making the money they want? Drop it in the comments. Drop mindset in the comment. If you think you have a mindset problem because you're not making the money you want. All right, I'm going to clear this up. Your mindset problem, if you are not making the money you want, I'm going to bet you like so big, right? We'll put the Empire State Building on the table. I don't own it, so it's not a big loss. But that's how big we're going, okay? If you were to work with me for 30 days, hell, if you were to work with me for 2 weeks, I would show you you don't have a mindset problem. You know what you do have? A leads problem. See, we want it to be about us. We want the problem to be us because that's what our ego does. Our ego's like, you're the problem. You need to fix it. You need to do something different. You don't know how to do this. This person knows how to do this. And that's how they got to make 78,000 bajillion figures. It's a lot. That's more than Elon. He only has like 300 and some billion. 78 bajillion trillion figures is a lot more. So it's not a mindset problem. If you had more leads, more leads would buy. Now, if you have so many leads and they all want something from you and they're trying to buy from you, and I have had clients do this, and you refuse to send them the link, you have a mindset problem. Like, you have a mindset problem. Then you have a mindset problem. But you don't have a mindset problem. Most people have a leads problem. Now, let's say that you have a leads problem, or you have your leads issue solved and you're still not making the money you want. You don't have a mindset problem. Do you know what you have? Your income ceiling, which is not where you want it to be, is the same as your self-worth ceiling. Your income ceiling and your self-worth ceiling are the same. That's not a mindset problem. People do not believe in themselves enough. People don't think they're worthy enough. People don't value themselves enough. You want to know how much income you deserve to make? Right now, think about how much value you hold about yourself. Because I can guarantee apples to oranges, and I'll throw in the Empire State Building again. You want the Golden Gate Bridge? I'll give you that one too. Okay? I'm going all in. If you don't have the level of money that you want in your life, it is because you do not hold that level of value about yourself. And that's whether or not you have a leads problem. And I'll tell you why. More insight here, more insight. If you had that level of value about yourself, the leads problem would have been solved already. Because people who value themselves can bank on themselves. They know that they have to figure out that problem because they just need more buyers. Whatever your income ceiling is right now is your self-worth ceiling. Whatever your self-worth ceiling is your value ceiling. That is your self-concept of how you value yourself. Not a mindset problem. That's an internal problem. Raise your self-esteem, raise your income. It's that simple. I've never met anyone with high self-esteem who was broke. Never. I've never met anyone with high confidence who was broke. Ever. I've never met somebody with high value, high standards, high self-belief, with high self-worth that was struggling to get by. Now, does that hurt? Does that suck? Yeah, absolutely that does. Is it fun to say to people? No, absolutely not. But here's the thing. This happens at every level. So I don't care if you're making 30,000 a year, 60,000 a year, 120,000 a year, 500,000 a year, 7 figures a year. Everybody is hitting a self-worth ceiling. Everyone is hitting a self-value ceiling, including me. So I have never met anybody who holds it to a certain degree that is still broke. So in other words, I have never met anybody who truly valued themselves at a 7-figure level, at an 8-figure level. Yes, I've worked with 8-figure clients. I've never met somebody who valued themselves at that level who didn't have that financial status. It's the status. Truth. I've been on both sides. Yep. And let me just add to that, because people think that this is once you get there, you never change, right? Things happen in life and your value can drop. Your self-worth can drop. You can doubt yourself. You can distrust yourself. You can second guess yourself. So just because you might have had the status up here doesn't mean that it continues even if the bottom falls out, because you have lost confidence and belief in yourself. And confidence and belief are what raises the self-worth value ceiling. And that is your income ceiling. So with that being said, I have about 10 minutes to open it up for questions. If anyone wants questions, I have questions. If not, I would love for you to go into the group and let me know what your favorite part of this was. Let people know what you got the most out of this, like what your biggest truth bomb was. If you have a question, just go ahead and raise your hand and I can bring you on. And if you have a question and you are watching the replay, you can go ahead and drop it. Ha 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 ha. I don't know how. I think you have to unmute yourself. No? No. Hold on. I can figure this out. I am only slightly tech-tarded. Okay. Wait. We'll try this. Let me see. No, I cannot. No, I can't do that. Wait, you can't unmute yourself? No, you should be able to. Let me see. I'm going to lower your hand and see if I can unmute you now. I can't unmute. Wait, I can't unmute someone else. You have to unmute yourself. Add as co-host. Pin to stream. No, I don't want to remove you from the call. No, I did. Did I mute? No, it says I can't. It says I can't. Audio settings, microphone. Nope, those are mine. It says I can't. Remove from call. No. I don't want to remove from the call. That's the only option.
Boo.
Hey, told ya. Mm.
You did mute me though. So, but I was like, okay, I'm pushing all the buttons and nothing's working. So I found the button, the
I
right
don't
one.
know. What did you love? What did you love about this?
What did I love? Like all of it, but um, you had said something and I was like, repeat it, and it was hold on, I gotta get my notebook. You know me, I take the notes. You and somebody else were selling and buying in the post of, and you told them what was wrong, and then you said something else. You told them what was wrong, and you didn't give them solutions, but what was the next like sentence you said?
So when my client, I put up a post and I got 5 people and she put up a post and she got nobody, right?
Right?
So we were doing a test because she believed that providing value and telling people about herself and her modality and all of the magic that was her was
Yeah.
going to get the
And you,
clients, because that's what she'd
but
always been doing. And that's what the gurus told her. They said that people have to know you and they have to like you and they have to trust you. So they have to understand what you do and how you do it. And I said,
and your post was
and
you
what?
told them, and your post was you told them their problem,
Correct.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
then there was something else you had said. Um, it wasn't a solution you gave them. You just gave them like nuggets of what their problems were. Um, I mean, we both talk fast. I process fast too, but I was like, you basically solved the problem.
For
Like you
you?
wrote a post. Well,
Yeah.
what you had said is you told them what their problem was and what they experienced, and then you got more grabs than she did because she was talking about self and you were talking to the problem.
Yeah. I was talking to buyers. She was talking to the masses.
Okay, talking to the buyers.
Yes.
And does it have to be a specific person buyer or just in general?
Um,
Like when creating a post and you're talking about the problem that they're dealing with. I mean, obviously, if you want to know how to solve it, get a hold of me kind of thing. But
no,
is
I
it
mean,
to a
people
specific
know what the hell
person
to
or just,
people know what the hell to do if if I put up a post and I told you all the problems right now that were keeping you from money, and it didn't say DM me or tag me, or would you end up in my DMs?
no, you would just be talking to? But that question is to a specific person or just keep it as general and then the people will just connect with you if it speaks to them.
No. So like, so the same way I did it with you here. I said, look, you don't have a money block problem. You have a leads problem.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Like I spoke to the actual problem that I solve. Or like when I said, it's, you don't have a problem converting people, you have a leads issue. I spoke to the actual, well, you're a specific person. I mean, but there are 100 more of you that are going to see this.
Okay. That's what my question was. Like, it's general enough, it speaks to everybody versus very
it's specific enough.
Circle.
I'm not writing a post that says, hey, Charlotte, here's what I think of
No.
your last post and why you're not getting sales. Like, I'm
I
not
posting
putting you
nothing.
on blast.
I ain't posting nothing. That's why I don't got no leads. I ain't post nothing.
Right. So yeah, like I'm not speaking to like, yes, I see what you're saying. So everyone's like, you have this avatar, speak to that avatar, name that avatar. That's it. No, that avatar, I don't have an avatar. I have a buyer.
Okay. It's just the main switch is just basically a buyer versus a specific avatar. Because, a lot of people are like, you speak to the most general, and then when you get them in the funnel, then you get more specific to the this and this and this. I mean, this was in the past, I ain't gonna lie. But the mindset has switched because you had said something of value, and then the tire kickers and the freebie grabbers and all that. And at the end of 2020, when I had done that again, and then it was, I was done.
They will wear
Done.
you out. They are worse than
They do
freaking
wear you out.
glass.
They'll wear you out worse than Satan will. But
Yeah, they will. And God bless them. I love it. But most of them are not going to take action because that's not in their DNA yet, or they're not ready to yet. Doesn't mean that somebody won't move from a freebie seeker to a tire out of a tire kicker, or they won't change. Doesn't mean that doesn't happen. But there's a difference of people who are in information gathering mode and people who are in solution mode.
Yeah, and it is a different mindset. It absolutely is, versus gaining information and insight versus I want to make the change and do the damn thing.
And people who are giving how to are encouraging that, right? So like if I put out a how to do this, you're going to get that piece of the how to do this, and then you're going to go over for the next piece to YouTube University, and then you're going to go over to the next piece. I see it all the time. I see my audience of like people all over on the freebie posts because they're like, I want this piece and I want this piece and I want this piece, right? So like they're getting the piece of the how to from each person, but when they put it together, it's still not going to work. Because the part of it that works is the proximity to that person and the context that person can then provide you with. So, and this is why there's a lot of people out there who can get pretty far with the how to and what's out there, but they hit a wall because they're taking somebody else's steps, somebody else's thing, right? Just like this, somebody's going to come on here, watch all this, and they're going to be like, I know how to do this. The thing that's going to make it not work for them, and their brain is going to go, oh, Sherry's full of it, it doesn't work, I spoke to buyers, is they are not going to have access to all of my other tools that make this work, right? Exactly. That is what Insight does. It shows the people, I've just given you your solution. I've given you the answer. Here's the solution. It's up to you if you want to solve it. If you want to solve it with me, that's great. If you want to go solve it, go find somebody else who does it, that's fine too, right?
Right.
But having an answer is what gets you out of the rat race. Like I've seen people spin their wheels on the hamster wheel for years.
And I've done that. Yeah, I've done that.
We've all done that in some way, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I mean, because it's a learning curve. It's different than different things, and then you're trying to get all the pieces put together, and then you just feel like you're in a daggum rabbit hole that you're never going to get out of. But when you stop and just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the hardest thing is it's just simple. You
Simplicity
don't
is
have
10 times harder than complexity.
then exactly, but the mind gets into the and I'm going to call it what it is, an ego of you have to have all these things. Like I did a video earlier. I was like, oh, my makeup's messed up. I don't care. I don't have to be perfect. Period.
Yeah. Right.
Period.
Your ego wants to convince you of other things, and it wants to keep you safe, and it wants to keep you the same. So like that ego construct is not actually, it's not there to help you. Right. It's doing its job, which is keeping you where you are. So,
I give her a name and give her a job.
so did I answer
Hey,
your
yo.
question?
Yes, but the biggest takeaway I think was the mindset, the money problem, the income, self worth. And I've noticed when my self worth is like horrendous, I ain't making squat nowhere.
Yeah.
And when I'm like high vibing and loving the hell out of myself, money's flowing to me like the rain. It just rains on me.
Yep.
And gifts can be more than just money too, because I was conversing with my daughter, I told you earlier. She's taking me out to dinner tonight wherever I want to go. And
I
I'm not
love
even
that.
paying for it.
I
So
love that.
when you get in that receptive of receiving and your worthiness, things just flow to you effortlessly.
I think when you're in that, like, it's not even like, yeah, it's not even a matter of like, are you receiving or not? It's just a matter of it of moving that ceiling up higher, right? Because then you're just in
Hmm.
the natural state of where you are with your own value. So I love that. Enjoy your dinner
Yep, yep.
tonight.
Oh, I mean, it will. She's taking me where I want to go, and I'm not even paying for it. So I'm like, heck yeah.
I love that. I love that. Awesome. All right. Does anyone else have a question here? I have a few more minutes. Going once, going twice. Nope, not at the moment. Thank you. You are very welcome. I'm not sure who the other person is, but yep. Okay. All right. Well, wonderful. I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to see you tag me in a post in Freedom Creators and tell me your biggest breakthrough, biggest aha, what you loved about it, whatever it was, right? And we will get this replay out to you. All right. I will see you all tomorrow. Same link, same bat channel, same bat time, same magic me. See you then. Lots of love.